Welcome back to the party in Portsmouth here at the Modus Live Lounge. Well, this is it, the grand final on Champions Night, live at the Modus Super Series. And yes, we are ready, and the players are ready, and it's tungsten time! And now can you please welcome our first finalist, Moreno Michaels! And please welcome Chucky Jim McEwen!
Game number 1,352 in Modus Super Series 5 is the most important of them all. This is the jackpot match. This is the game that is going to decide dreams and destinies. It's Michaels, it's McEwen for that trophy and for £20,000. In the commentary box for the final, it's Paul Nicholson and Chris Murphy.
Yeah, every one of those matches has been played, and now it's the big one for that trophy and for the big money here at the Modus Super Series. It's the £20,000 squid game between Michaels and McEwen. The Dutchman from Rotterdam, 39 years of age, on this second coming in his darting career, as Jim McEwen, a man who's really played his best stuff in his senior years. The 56-year-old made it.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg, it's Moreno to throw first.
Match play final.
Game on.
Lost out to Leonard Gates, but will it be glory for the Scotsman, or will it be Dutch delight on Champions Night?
100.
Henry mentioned that ADC Europe sent Moreno Michaels our way. Many thanks indeed. And this series has seen ADC Europe really come to the fore. Just been looking into Moreno's past, because it has been a very long time since he won his last ranking title in any sort of promotion. 14 and a half years ago, when he won the Open Holland in April of 2009.
100.
And it might be a sign, because the last time he won a ranking title, he beat a Scotsman in the final in Mark Barilli.
100.
He has the darts in the final because he won the darts in the practice room. This could be brilliant. I wonder if it's anything like the fourth game of the night, which saw Michaels win by 4-3 against McEwen.
100.
But that was his first game of the night. This is now his fourth.
During that seniors tournament I mentioned, McEwen was sharing a practice room with the great Phil Taylor.
125.
Well,
Jim, you require 161.
Be the power of Scotland tonight. Not going to produce the power play in the first leg, but he'll hope to come back after leaving something better here. Now,
55.
Maybe could have thought
Moreno,
that
you
out a little
require
bit better and got himself
131.
into two-dart territory.
59.
I'm surprised he didn't go for the 51
Jim, you require
first.
106.
106. If the 60 goes in, then you can bet your bottom dollar he'd be looking at a 6 for tops. But now it's treble 18.
Had he got the 60, I would have bet my bottom, top,
98.
left and right dollar. He was
Moreno,
going for a 6 and
requires
tops.
72.
I could ask you a question after this leg, Paul, just about the darts that McEwen's thrown. Bullseye.
47.
Whistled past the wire. Double 4.
Jim, you require 8. Game shot on the first leg. Jim McEwen.
And he gets an immediate breaker throw, leaving Michaels looking a little bit bemused. The question I was going
Second
to
leg,
ask
it's
you, Paul,
Jim to throw first. Game on.
Jim McEwen was getting that first dart so right so often earlier in the night, as he has there. Do you get the sense in that first leg he was just trying to feel his way into that match and was almost throwing them pretty safely?
Yeah, seeing some players
140.
try to focus on line first and let the weight of dart come into it. Andreas Harrison definitely did that in the semi-final, but he just left it too late. He couldn't click everything together quick enough.
60.
Well, McEwen won relatively recently in getting to this Champions Week, victor on week 10, winning the Joust of Gyms in the final of that week. Got the better of Jim Long, the Canadian.
40.
As for Moreno, you've got to go way back to week 3 when he fought off Fallon Sherrick in the final, a semi-final lineup that also included John Henderson, one of the Scotsmen pre-series that would have been
40.
a favourite to be in this match tonight.
Yeah, very much so. Very quiet in there now because we have a Scotsman against a Dutchman, and the majority of the people here are from this local area, and they really don't have a home player on the stage, which I think plays into the hands of both players, because this will be a pure game without favoritism from anybody else.
Has to switch surely.
$56.
Fair to say that Michaels has not played to the level that we've seen tonight in this final yet.
60.
Is he showing little signs of frustration there? We've seen every possible result in our previous 4 series finals. 4-0, 4-1, 4-2 and 4-3.
I do love the way
40.
the audience assembled a captivator. What's McEwen thinking with his final dart there? When he appears back in short, he might
45.
just turn around and think, what have you left there, Jim? Looks at the score. Looks again. Well, he doesn't go totally mad just because Moreno's not any kind of finish himself.
He's in a position to boss this final all of a sudden.
140.
A little bit of a jerky right shoulder, but that...
What he was trying to do, Paul, leave 168, so 140 gets you on double 14.
It works. As long as you take the double 14.
100.
That jerky right shoulder
Jim,
that
you
comes
required
into his
28.
technique now and again. I wouldn't focus too much on it. Didn't do Jockey Wilson any harm.
Does he take the double 14? He takes double 11. That wasn't on the menu, but he didn't intend to have a main course and a dessert, but double 3 is the way to finish off the meal.
22.
Instead, he made a meal
Moreno,
of it.
you require 151.
Moreno needs something to happen. It's not going to happen here. But even if he does lose this leg,
56.
something has got
Jim, you require
to
6.
start in leg 3. Otherwise, McEwen could boss this.
Game shot on the second leg. Jim McEwen.
Yeah, at the moment, there is no power coming from the electrician from Rotterdam.
Third leg, it's Moreno to throw
He's not
first.
plugged in yet.
Game on.
Switch it on, Moreno. That's better. Much better dart. He can attack that one.
100.
Even tons are an improvement. He's got 5 of them in the match, but no 140s. And he's only had 1 dart at a double. The output has got to be much better from here on out.
60.
McEwen has played in some big stage matches, not just in his career, but this year. Is he more prepared for this than Michaels is? You'd probably have to admit that.
Well, it's a second big televised final in relatively quick succession for McEwen, isn't it?
140.
It'd be interesting to see what his plans are. Should he win this? Does he want to come back and defend it? Does he want another
120.
That is desperately unlucky. Dangling dart for Michaels.
And instead of being on 121 or 81, he's on something a little bit more difficult.
96.
But he has got time on his
Moreno,
side.
you require
And Chucky is
141.
getting mad.
Yeah, he wanted to keep Michaels basically where he was, where he had him.
97.
But now he's allowing him into this final.
At least this is happening on a leg where the Dutchman threw first.
90. Moreno, you require 44.
Still needs to get his first double of this final. Does he have it here?
28.
He does not. McEwen could make him pay for that.
Jim, you require 150.
How good is his first start this time?
If it's on the money, he could be in the money. Still on, and he could end up on tops here. Treble 18 would get him there. Oh, yes. What a rescue.
Game shot on the third leg.
From the Scots.
Jim McEwen.
What a reaction. Jim McEwen's almost there, and he knows it.
Dare I
Fourth
say it,
leg,
that
it's
was
Jim
very
to throw
plucky from
first.
Chucky.
Game on.
That was heart-wrenchingly hurtful to Marino Michaels, who had 2 darts to be within 1, and now he's 3 behind. We might be looking at
96.
our second ever 4-0 in a series final. The first one coming from Conan Whitehead, beating Graham Usher.
100.
It might be that time just to pay homage to our former champions, Conan Whitehead, who made a bold bid to reclaim the crown this week. Raymond Smith, who we wish our best to, was hoping to
92.
return for the next series, unfortunately unable to do so at the moment. And Luke Littler, who we've welcomed this evening. Great touch to see him turn up.
85.
And he'll pass the trophy to the winner of this match, having won it the last 2 series.
Yeah, he's got a lot coming up. World Youth Final against Jan van Veen. PDC World Championship. What's Jim got coming up?
180.
First 180 of the final. It might be the only one he needs.
He might only throw 3 more darts, and then the next thing he picks up could be
85.
the trophy.
Jim, you require 133.
People have hit big finishes to win tournaments before. It's not going to be a big one,
93.
but it is a classy 12 darts to leave his favourite shot on the board. We got a reaction for 3-0.
139.
For 4.
Jim, you require 40. Game, shots, and the match, and the Modus Super Series champion, Jim McEwen.
It is a titanic tartan triumph as Scotland's Jim McEwen Masters Modus Super Series 5. Chucky picks up the Champions Night check, and he is living and breathing every second of that achievement. Paul Nicholson, what a worthy winner as Jim McEwen completes the full set and pockets £20,000.
There are many things you can do at the Modus Super Series. You can win weeks, you can win groups. But now Jim McEwen becomes a Super Series immortal. A great performance in the final, and he took full advantage of Marino Michaels not turning up in the first couple of legs. He's won it all. He's becoming immortal at the Super Series, and now he has something else to lift.
Yeah, he's going to lift that trophy. 91 average, 4 out of 7 on the doubles, a 4-0 success, and he won it on his favourite tops. Jim McEwen is the champion on Champions Night, and he is talking to Phil Bars.
Jim, many congratulations. You are the Modus Super Series 5 champion. Just sum up what the night's been like for us.
I can't speak. That's just so important. This money changes my life. I know it's not £1 million, but 20 grand, yeah, it changes my life and my family's life so much.
This crowd tonight have really got you thrown as well. Just a word for them.
Oh, absolutely. I usually come down here with no support at all, but every one of them, fabulous. Fabulous.
look, the way it's gone, this group was, everyone was talking about Daryl Pilgrim, but you've defied the odds here, and just sum up what it's been like, because that group was tough to come through.
Yeah, you can't discount anyone in Champions Week, Phil. We're all champions. I don't know if Daryl being favourite can have put a bit of pressure on him. I don't know. But I was always confident. Yeah, brilliant.
That seniors final, I know, hurt. How much does this go to putting that right, winning here on TV on a big stage?
A long way. As you say, the final and the match play did hurt a bit. I started too late, but this has sorted it. Yeah.
Jim, many congratulations as we hand you to our Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Paul Starr.
And to present the trophy, the 2 times back-to-back Modus Super Series champion, Luke Littler. Well, we're ready, Jim is ready, and it's trophy time. Receiving £20,000, the coveted trophy, and the title of the Modus Super Series champion number 5. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen. One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
That's his. Jim McEwen, the champion in Series 5. He called it life-changing. He said it's something that's going to change his life. It's going to be something that propels him into another stratosphere in his career. Paul Nicholson has made the trip up to the balcony. And you know what? He's epitomised the spirit of the Super Series for 2.5 years now. And so perhaps he's a fitting champion of this competition.
Very much so. Really happy for Jim. When someone comes here, they think about doing this very thing. The money will change his life potentially, but I think it's the opportunity to feel like a champion for the next few months and maybe go on to other things that means even more to him.
Well, we can see him still soaking up the adulation, and why not? It's a big moment, it's a big occasion, and for all the talk about Daryl Pilgrim, he was the one throughout the course of the week who was the most granite. That was what we've been saying in commentary, the most consistent. And in a long-haul competition like this, consistency is key.
Yeah, it was consistency that got him through in his group, in Group C. And now that he's won every group and everything we've got to offer here, I think we talk about the possibility of what else can he do. But this week, when he came into Saturday night as well, I think he showed other qualities of I will do what needs to be done. I don't have to average 105 or 95. I can win a game with an 83 average. I can get into the mud and do it dirty. But in the final, he took full advantage of Marino Michaels, who did not turn up until leg 3. That is a fact. And ultimately, he was just way too good.
That 115, goodness me.
Brilliant. Michaels had his chance, 2 at double 16, misses them both. And you're thinking at 2-1, game on. But at 3-0, you saw the reaction. As soon as Jim hits that, he thinks, this is mine. You're not taking it from me.
So, Jim McEwen there as he goes off into the sunset. Just a word on Marino Michaels, because such an achievement to get through to this particular point, to get to a grand final. There's so many great players haven't even made it to a Champions Week, let alone get to that particular moment. Hard lies in the final, but he'd be so proud of his efforts.
He is. I ran into him downstairs for a few seconds. He was very philosophical. He knew that he had a bad start in the final, but when he wakes up tomorrow and goes back to the Netherlands, he will see this as a huge achievement. £10,000 is an awful lot of money to start your next journey. And I said 2 words to him on the way up to the balcony. I said, welcome back. It's great to have him back. He's a superb dart player, and I'd like to see him back here to maybe go one better.
I'm going to ask you for some final words and assessments on Jim McEwen in just a second, but I want to talk about Series 5 as a whole. What have we learnt, do you think, throughout this series? So we've seen ADC continue to branch out. We've seen new names not just get to Champions League, but new names shine in this competition. Once upon a time, there was a select group of players who played in this competition, but now everybody gets an opportunity, and everybody is showing their best on this stage.
Yeah, we've seen real success stories throughout 2023. Think about Adam Mould at the start of the year, an ADC qualifier, winning the week against Ian Moss in the final. And then you look at other stories like Littler, and you look at what Conan was like this week, trying to get their hands back on the trophy. Once, for some people, is not enough. But I think ADC Europe, ADC, and people trying to resurrect their careers, I think that's been the story of 2023. And some people have not needed to resurrect anything because Jim McEwen has always been here.
And as far as Jim McEwen's concerned, he's got a lot of decisions to make now because he's the defending champion of this. The next series, as we know, is that series in the year that straggles either side of Q School. There could be some big decisions he's got to make over the next few months.
Oh, absolutely. Choice is a great thing in darts at the minute. And in previous times, there may have been a multitude of organizations that you could play under, and you had to make a choice. So, the choice is yours, Jim. Do you want another one of these? Do you want more moments like this? Or do you want to go to another level elsewhere? The choice is his, but I'd love to see him back for another crack.
A great champion of a great series. Paul, thank you so much for your company, not just tonight, not just this week, but throughout the course of the series. To anybody either in front of the camera, behind the camera, who've done anything behind the scenes, there's a big team that put a lot of hard work in making the Modus Super Series happen, and that really did culminate on a fantastic night tonight. So we thank everybody in front and behind the camera. Thank you, most importantly, at home for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed your night. Jim McEwen definitely did, as Chucky chucked his way to Super Series glory.
One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.